class. I'm Andrew Adams, and I'm joined with Chanitra Allen, and we're going to discuss our survey project. Our survey project covered climate change and how the religious and political climate think of climate change and how it affects us and how we affect our Earth's climate. Climate change is a key variable in Americans' and social, political, and religious climate. Because of this, it's constant debate. There's a few questions that most politicians ask, and these are that does climate change occur naturally, or does mankind affect Earth's climate? And the couple things we asked ourselves is that does our religious beliefs provide us enough reasons why climate change might be happening, and things like that, or does my political affiliation provide enough information on the reasons for climate change? The purpose of the study is to explore how someone might think about climate change due to their religious beliefs or political association. The study is important because it aids in dividing segments of individuals into segments to help somebody or to help clarify someone's view on climate change. Political affiliation is one of those categories, and we separated it three different types of political affiliations. First one being Republican, which they could believe or could not believe that Earth's climate is changing on its own and not due to human interaction. The Democratic population could not lean more toward believing that climate change is caused by humans, and the independent voters could side either with the Republicans or Democratic views, or just have total opposite reasons. So the religious belief side of it is we had Christians and Islamics. So religion is a culturally patterned institution. So you see a lot of similarities in several religions. They all, a lot of them have a deity or god or gods that are all powerful, that control everything that happens. And they tend to have a prophecy that could explain why something might be happening, like the iceberg melting or things like that. The other categories we had were not religious or other religions. Those that are not religious or have other religions could not believe mankind is causing the change or that it is changing naturally. There is other religions. We kind of narrowed it down to these because if we try to put all of them, it would be thousands. So, from all the research that I did and that we did, we found mainly the scientific reasoning and um, their explanation of climate change and what climate change is doing to, mankind, that kind of thing. Um, in the JAMA Network report, they discussed the medical issues related to climate change, that climate change cause heat-related and respiratory-related disorders, infectious diseases, food security, and mental health could also be affected, like cattle and crops, things like that, from growing because it's too hot, um, those type of things. And then from the end review of political science, um, Thomas Brennan kind of goes over why there hasn't been any major changes in the political climate. Um, it's kind of um, related to this, but um, they have a hard time making policy to make real changes because there's no set in stone proof of that humans are um, affecting the climate at a massive rate. So our initial hypothesis is that attitudes toward climate change are based on religious beliefs and or political affiliation. And we narrowed that down even more toward the religious belief side, where we said that Christians, which Christians are one of the variables, and non-Christians were the other variable, but that Christians tend to believe that um, science has nothing to do with climate change, that mankind is not really affecting climate change. It's all in God's plan. So the data collection method we used, our research tool was a section-wide survey. We did this on a 5-point Likert scale, which included strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. The sampling method we used was size sampling. The sample included 41 Christians that agreed with the notion that climate change was based on religious belief. The data analyzation method was based on a bivariate table we coded to reflect the percentage difference in agreement between Christian and non-Christian. Results showed a 20% difference between Christians and non-Christians. Therefore, we can support our hypothesis given the sample data available. I'll pass over to Chanitra Allen to review the data analysis.
Data analysis. We collected data using a 5-point scale based on Christians and non-Christians who strongly agreed and strongly disagreed. We found that 25% of Christians and 5% of non-Christians agreed with religion does not have an effect on climate. Discussions. Christians believe that climate change is not affected by mankind. They have a tendency to believe in a supernatural power or being. The survey proved that Christians favored supernatural over science. Ideas for the future. By studying different denominations, it opens up different viewpoints. Also, studying a larger segment of individuals opens up a wide variety of opinions too. In concluding, we discovered that our hypothesis was proved to be correct for the individuals that we researched. By surveying a larger group, we could gain a better understanding of how the population thinks and understands climate change. Also, when we found that narrowing the scale of the climate change could aid in better understanding